So, after months of silently lurking in the headlines, the news is out. The Warriors general manager Bob Myers is leaving the Warriors organization. Joe Lacob offered him enough money to make him the highest paid general manager in the league, but he didn't take it. Which I guess means only one thing, that money isn't everything. Myers had to make the best decision for himself and his family, and who can blame him? He was a key figure in creating the Warriors dynasty and deserves his flowers. I mean, some may bring out the fact that he didn't craft either of the Splash Brothers, but the truth is, he was the one who chose to hire Steve Kerr instead of Stan Van Gundy. He was the one who drafted Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, and the Pool Party. He was the one who signed Andre Iguodala, Kevin Durant, David West, Zaza Pachulia, and JaVale McGee. Then, when Kevin Durant was about to walk away for nothing back in 2019, he was also the one responsible for the sign and trade with the Nets, which brought over D'Angelo Russell, which eventually turned into Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga. You know, after he announced his decision to step down from his position, the leader of the Warriors, Steph Curry, immediately shared this message on social media. "Before the trophies and the memories over this run, I remember I told you, you better get it right, and you did. The GM role was great and you did your thing, but forever grateful for you as a friend forever. Changed each of our lives. Enjoy the next chapter, my guy. Thank you, Bob." You know, in 2 decades of watching the NBA, I've never seen a GM this close with the players of an organization. I mean, do y'all remember in The Last Dance how MJ ridiculed Bulls GM at the time, Jerry Krause? Sheesh, guys. But anyway, Bob Myers was the NBA Executive of the Year twice in his general manager career, and for his work over the past decade, is a Warrior for life. The question that now remains, however, is, what's next? Well, the answer to this is simple, and Joe Lacob answered it perfectly when he said this.
We're going to win no matter what. We are going to figure out a way to do it. That's what good organizations do.
Then, as to whether or not the Warriors could win another championship, I believe these guys said it best.
A yes or no answer. Without Myers, are the Warriors winning another championship?
Oh, absolutely.
That's a yes.
They certainly can win another championship.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
They have Steph.
That's right. As long as Steph Curry is healthy and is wearing a Warriors uniform, the dynasty is still alive. Ladies and gentlemen, it's sad that Bob Myers got off this train, but the next destination for the Warriors Express is the 2024 NBA Finals, where they'll win another Larry O'Brien trophy. And with that being said, let's get into the Warriors' crazy plan for 2024. So, going forward into the 2024 season, the Warriors have 2 major issues to solve. The first one was actually hinted by Bob Myers during his recent exit interview when he said,
I did get yelled at a few times about we didn't sign a big man at the buyout. It's not as easy as everyone thinks. We do like big guys, contrary to popular belief. Joe especially likes size, he'll tell you himself.
So, as we all just heard, Bob Myers actually tried to sign a big man at the buyout and actually got yelled at by Lacob for failing to do so. 2024 is going to be different though, and there's 2 huge reasons why we're going to see more size in Golden State for the upcoming season. The first being the 2023 free agent list for centers is plentiful. There are tons of big men in the offseason market, many of which would love the opportunity to play in the Bay Area for a 1-year minimum deal, with the goal of having a great season and then getting a bag afterwards. You know, similar to what happened with Otto Porter Jr. and Gary Payton II. Just skimming through this list, a few centers already stand out. Given the Warriors' luxury tax issues, Thomas Bryant, Moritz Wagner, and Damian Jones are 3 centers who the Warriors could acquire at bargain prices, who could come in and act as big bodies on the court for 5, 10, or 15 minutes a game, and just like that, Looney could finally get some rest. The second reason the Warriors are going to see more size in 2024 is because there's only one timeline now, and that's Steph's timeline. Last year, the Warriors tried to connect 2 generations of players, but after trading Wiseman, it's clear that Lacob will do whatever he has to in order to win now. And as we just heard Bob Myers say, contrary to popular belief, Lacob likes size. Anyway, as of this moment, the Warriors have 2 players who are very attractive in the marketplace. Jordan Poole and Jonathan Kuminga are both young stars in the making. I mean, they're both under 24 and have shown star potential. Poole played significant minutes and was the backup point guard on a championship team, whereas Kuminga is one of the most athletic players in the league today. While I hate the fact of trading them, the truth is, unless scientists find a way to reverse the process of aging, Steph Curry only has another 2 to 3 year window of playing at an MVP caliber level. So, knowing this, Joe Lacob has to do everything in his power to win another championship with Steph, even if that means parting ways with some homegrown players. This isn't everything the Warriors need to do, though. Another huge problem that the Warriors must solve was kind of hinted at when Draymond Green and Stephen A. Smith were talking during a Lakers game.
Are you still playing if that stuff with Jordan Poole didn't happen early in the season?
I absolutely think so.
That line by Draymond says a lot. I mean, one, there's still obviously a disconnect between the two players that wasn't solved during the season, and two, the Warriors can't win a championship with a disconnect in the locker room. The all-important question Joe Lacob will need to ask himself here is, can he gamble that the relationship between the two can be solved by next season? If not, then one or the other has to go, and even though Jordan Poole is a bucket getter and a highlight reel, I don't think the Warriors are going to casually let one of their Hall of Fame trio go just like that. Then when you combine this chemistry issue with the fact that Joe Lacob likes size, it's quite clear that, whether by trade or by free agency acquisition, the Warriors are going to target a quality big man in the offseason. And in case you are wondering who, don't worry, I got you covered here with a few different scenarios that the Warriors could pull the trigger on. First off, the Utah Jazz have a huge number of draft picks they acquired from the Gobert and Mitchell trade. They were building for the future, but Lauri Markkanen accidentally turned into a star. At this point, they could potentially decide to build around him, but the problem is, he'll be 27 next season, and as of the moment, they don't have another star to pair alongside with him to win anything meaningful. And to make things worse, luring stars to Utah isn't the easiest of tasks. I mean, Darren Williams himself tried to recruit players there before, but no one wanted to live in Utah. So, with that being said, it seems that the Jazz's best chances of getting another star is probably through the draft, but the thing is, whoever they draft probably won't align with Markkanen's timeline. And so while he may seem like an untouchable piece, it could be in Utah's best interest to trade him and get a young star prospect, or maybe two. Well, the Warriors could offer up Poole, Kuminga, and a few more picks, or even Patrick Baldwin Jr. for Lauri Markkanen and Kelly Olynyk. This would be a win-win trade for both teams. The Jazz would get 2 or 3 quality players that fits the timeline of their army of draft picks, while the Warriors would get 2 7-footers who could stretch the floor and attack in the paint. Sheesh! Anyway, another potential big the Warriors could target is Karl Anthony Towns. Again, the trade is going to have to include Poole, Kuminga, and probably a pick, and Patrick Baldwin Jr. Now, why would the Timberwolves agree to this, you might ask? Well, the Timberwolves' current superstar Anthony Edwards is only 21 at the moment, so he'll have the opportunity to pair up with other young players who have star potential. Cat is also now injury-prone, as evident from the last few seasons, and if he were to sustain another injury and miss even more time, his stock will drop significantly. It may be better to get some quality pieces and more picks for the future and slowly build around Edwards, who's clearly not ready to compete for a championship, just yet anyway. The Warriors, on the other hand, would get a true big, and for the next 2 to 3 years, as long as they stay healthy, they'd be a force to reckon with. Anyway, one other potential trade I found very interesting is one that would get rid of the bad chemistry issues and add a bit more size. Not a lot more size, but a bit. And that's Jordan Poole for Dorian Finney-Smith and Yuta Watanabe. While this trade doesn't give the Warriors a quality big per se, they'd be getting 2 quality forwards who are 6'7" and 6'9" in height, who could both shoot from the perimeter. They aren't the best defenders in the world, but with their size and length, combined with Draymond's ability to anchor the defense, the Warriors could become a top 5 defensive team again. I know it's a lot of ifs at the moment, but the writing's on the wall. Some triggers are definitely gonna get pulled this offseason. But whatever the Warriors decide to go for, you can be sure that they're going to be championship contenders in 2024. The only thing they must do to ensure that is put a sign on the door of their gym saying, "No punching."